programa kag magasipad-sipad sa mga issues nga mangin patas ang presentasyon sa tanan kag mabatian sa Facebook page kag YouTube channel sang Iloilo Newsline. Ang Iloilo Night Watch mangin mata kag dulunggan sa mga listeners kag mga viewers kag ini mabatian halin las 8:30 sang gabi tugtog las 10 sang gabi. Rantay 9 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8. Mayong gabi banwa, mayong gabi sa atong mga listeners kag mga viewers. Kumusta na kamo tanan? Nagapamati na kamo sa Iloilo Newsline diri sa programa Iloilo Night Watch. Mabatian man kita sa Gimaras Newsline kag palihog subscribe sa YouTube channel sang Iloilo Newsline. Dira sa kaumahan kadagatan kabukiran, kumusta na kamo tanan? Kabay pa nga naka-online na kamo, basta may data lang, wala gisang problema. Kagkabay pa sa aton man nga mga listeners sa abroad, sa mga Pinay, Pinoy kag mga Ilonggo, okay lang kamo dira tanan. Kabay pa nga okay lang, wala sang problema sa inyo nga ikayong lawas. Diriman sa syudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo, Negros Occidental, syudad sang Bacolod kag Guimaras, kumusta na kamo? Salamat gid sa pagtanaw kag pagpamati diri sa aton nga pagpangalagad. Diraman sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, sa mga ka-newsline naton nga naga-monitor, kumusta na kamo? Kag sa inyong mga kabataan, sa mga naga-online, okay lang kamo dira tanan-tanan, wala gid sa nga problema. Ulat-ulatan nyo, dali na malang naguro face to face. Kasi may mga informasyon kamo dira, palihog lang padala diri sa aton nga pagpangalagad. I-text nyo lang diri sa 0929-254-4135. 0929-254-4135. O kung pwede man nga i-text ninyo diri o kung i-chat sa Iloilo Newsline. Update ninyo kami sa amon nga pagdala sa mga informasyon, mga balita upod man sa aton nga mga ka-newsline. 41 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8. Sa mga listeners standby na. Diri kita sa pagplastar sa aton nga mga headlines. Sa balita lokal, plaza sa Molo, amat-amat na nga gina-construct. Matapos nga gimpalibutan na sa nga mga arurong, no? Mga sako na bla, ginkudala na, no? Kay uhon ini ang plaza sa Molo kaparihuman sa iban pang mga plaza sa syudad sang Iloilo. Patahumon para nga manami tanawon, kay kun hinali maglagaw-lagaw kamo, at least mayo ang inyong pag tanaw-tanaw, maka-selfie kamo da upod sa inyong pamilya. Sa dugang pagid nga balita, mga kabataan nga mga minor de edad, halong-halong kamo, hindi mo sagad tugag mo. Kaya nga, wagi kamo da sang palabuton, ang inyo na nga madangtan, kung hindi kamo masaputihan, basi kamo masaputihan, o kung basi kamo pa ang madisgrasya, o kung basi mapatay. Sa inyo na nga grupo-grupo na, no, gang ninyo na bala, kung maghimo kamo sang kaayuhan, hindi kay kalainan. Hindi kamo sagad rin ang bolda, nga mangin katol kamo sa ulo sa aton nga mga otoridad o kung sang inyo ginikanan. Kaya pahimunong kamo sa inyo nga balay. Kadto kamo, puli kamo to, obra kamo sang inyong module sa eskwelahan, hindi nyo pagpaobraha sang inyong module ninyo ginikanan. O kung ang inyong mga kauturan, amo yung ginapobra nyo, kamo yalagaw kag tambay-tambay kag magtugag mo. So sa mga pumuluyo, sa mga kabaranggayan, no? Abi libot-libutan nyo man kamo nga mga barangay officials, libot-libutan nyo man ang inyong mga constituents da. Libot-libutan yung mga kabataan nga may ganggang da. Kay parang hindi sila magtugas ang gamo, hindi sila mangin huol o kon problema sang sosyudad. Sa dugang pagid nga balita nasyonal, Senado naga-question sa plano nga pag grabe kuno nga pag stricto ni sang bag-o nga chairman sang Comelec. Yung bag-o nga chairman nga daan nga gina-appoint ni President Rodrigo Duterte nga kilala sa kay attorney Saidamin Pangarungan. Tama kuno ni kestrikto tituyo iya ang mga tumalanaw kung sino man dira, hindi basta-basta nga makapalapit o kung makasulod sa technical warehouse nga ginahambal bla nila. Eti ara dira ang mga pag-imprinta sang mga baluta kay base bla nga mamalisyahan sila. Hindi pwede kuno nga dira sila nga mag-standby o kung magsulod, hindi pwede, no? Hindi pwede ang mga outsiders na. Hindi pwede ang mga konsino manda nga magkadto sa warehouse sang Comelec kay dira ga-imprinta sang mga baluta. Base bla madisgrasya pang mga baluta, base nga mabutang sa langalang ang local kag national election. Sa dugang pagid nga balita, tuyo sang bag-o nga Comelec chairman nga ipasiguro sa mga pumuluyo ang mangin patas kapag hiwat sa eleksyon pagi sa pagproteher sang sagradong buto o kon mga buto sang mga pumuluyo. Sa kagbalita internasyonal, Hong Kong magahiwat sa mass testing sa ilang mga pumuluyo kay gamat-amat saka kunong infeksyon sang COVID-19 dito sa ilang lugar. Nagdamo kuno ang mga nagkalamatay, partikularmente nga sa mga senior citizens nga wala pa mabakunahan. Diriya sa aton ganubo naganubo ang infection rate bangod nga ang mga pumuluyo ti gasunod man niya kuno gasunod man niya sa mga health protocols galing ang iban nga mga politiko way man niya gasunod kay bisan political rally nila kita mo do ay gani gina-observe ang physical distancing. Sila mismo nga mga lideres sila man ang nagahimo sang sala, sila man ang nagaguba sang rules and regulation nga ginapatuman sang interagency task force. 47 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8. Standby sa atong mga listeners, basi gusto nyo nga magbakal sang itlog, yara sa Eager Farm sa Barangay Balibagan, Este, Santa Barbara, Iloilo. Ang itlog sa Eager Farm, preska kag barato. Pwede ka mo dira makatawag sa ilang landline 5230039. 5230039 o kung pwede man nga matawagan ninyo si William o kung Josie Lagman sa ilang mobile number 0947-856-4729. 0947-856-4729. Tinang sa flower shop na hamtang sa Isnart City proper sa tabok lang ini sa Iloilo Central Market. Ang pinang sa flower shop ginapanagiyahan ni Cyril Tacosalmi. Pwede ka mo makatawag sa iyang mobile number 0920-825-6483. 0920-825-6483 o kung 0916-786-8896. 96. Kay Maninay Pasing Biko kag Soon Kaloy Biko mayong gabi. Kagay Dr. Bobby Villalobos sa Antique. Kagay Day Hilenda mayong gabi kag sa inyong mga kabataan, mayong gabi sa inyong tanan. Kumusta na to, Bobby? Okay ka lang da to, Bobby Villalobos? Babay pa nga, okay ka lang da, no? Sa mga antikin nyo, good evening. Sa mga pumuluyo sa syudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo, mayong gabi, labi na sa mga gimaras noon. 49 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8 sa mga nagahiwat sang kadlawan. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday kay Tiray Villa.
Birthday to you.
Advance happy birthday naman kay Rosemary Delgado. Kay Chamsi Ruki Makabingel. Advance happy birthday. Kag sa iban pa nato nga mga listeners nga nagahiwas ang kadlawan, happy birthday. Sa tanan-tanan nga nagahiwat sang kadlawan, happy birthday. ...51 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8. Ipabati ta sa inyo ang Senate panel nga naga-question sa stricto ni sang Comelec chairman nga makabisita sa technical warehouse. Ang Senado tuyo nila mapasiguro nga wala bala sang ginahimo nga anomalya samtang nga gina-prepare na imprinta ang mga baluta sa warehouse. Gapaniguro man ang mga senador, gapaniguro man ang mga kandidato. Galing grabe kuno ka stricto ni grabe nga paghigpit kuno ng Comelec chairman no? Perte kuno kapag pasiguro nila nga mayugid ang ining local kag national election. Mangin maayo, no? Maayo ang resulta. So ginapasiguro nila sa mga pumuluyo nga protektado ang tanan nga mga boto. Yari si o kon ang Senado sa ilang pag-question sa Commission on Election.
I would also like to inquire from COMELEC. There are several queries here already. That COMELEC has disallowed the national printing, the presence of anyone in the national printing office.
Si Senator Amy Marcos.
No political parties, no candidates, no NGOs, no one. Is that correct? And why?
Mamati kita.
Kasi ang promise sa atin, at every stage of the game, pwedeng manood ang NGO, pwede rin makita ng mga political parties representing their candidates, pero bigla ngayon, pinagbawalan na yata, ang pagkaintindi ko. Alex also has some input on this. I believe that the presence of any witnesses at all have been prohibited. Is that correct?
That's correct, ma'am. We have an official letter from the office of Commissioner Casquejo.
Yes, if you would therefore provide the committee with the same letter, and I will forward it with a request for an explanation to COMELEC.
Yes, Madam Chair. I will forward.
Okay, thanks very much. I'm sorry, please identify yourself. I think you're raising your hand,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, sino nga
This
yan?
is Helen Aguila
okay,
Flores,
Helen.
Madam Chair. And I happen to be the Vice Chairperson of the Printing Committee.
Oh, okay.
May I please be allowed to say something regarding the issue?
Yes, Director Flores is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. While it may be true that our chairperson of the Printing Committee, Commissioner Casquejo, has temporarily requested that observation be postponed, it is not true that there is a definite denial of request to observe the printing process, Your Honor. I
Okay.
think that from what he said during one of our meetings, Your Honor, it will be allowed in due time, Your Honor.
In due time. Pag natapos na yung printing, patay.
Hindi po, Your Honor. Hindi po.
In
I
any
know
case-
because we have discussed regarding that, Your Honor. It's just that during the time that this request came, the alert level at that time was still, I think, number 2, if I'm not mistaken. But with the recent development, I think the response of the committee will soon be adjusted, Madam Chair.
Is that sufficient, Alex, please?
No, the reason here is security. As far as the response of the Office of Casquejo, there is an observation room that is confined. It's not even interactive to anyone. So we cannot find the reason why there is a security issue. Maski medical issue, because it's a very enclosed observer's room that we have been using since 2016. And we cannot find the reason, the security issues or medical issues on that matter.
Tsaka, Madam Chair,
Yes, Senator Coco, please.
ganito yun eh. No matter what the alert level is, no matter what the pandemic
Hindi pwede yun.
situation is, for as long as COMELEC is undergoing election-related activities, they should allow witnesses. Ganun po yun eh. That is the nature of the of the activity. The people must be allowed. So do not use the pandemic as the reason and then tuloy yung COMELEC activity which should be open to the people for transparency's sake. Ganun po yun. So ganun po ang pag-argue ko ron. So
Yes.
COMELEC, please do not use alert level because kahit na strictest alert level and yet you are able to print ballots, you allow witnesses.
So, correct. I'm in full agreement with Senator Coco. Kung talagang napakahigpit ng alert level, sabihin natin 2 or 3, di sana nahinto pati yung printing. Totally tapos. Diba? Pero hindi pwedeng tuloy-tuloy kayo, pero hindi kayo nagpapapasok ng tao, pambirang ko yan. Somebody's raising their hand. I'm not certain who it is. Yes, Attorney Hubert, please.
Madam Chair, since 2016, we've been allowed to observe not only the printing of the ballots, even in the configuration of the SD cards in Santa Rosa warehouse. No?
I understand that no one's allowed to go to Santa Rosa either. What's going on?
Exactly, Madam Chair, so which is very concerning for all of us. Kay Botlim, madaling mapakiusapan at he allowed every observer to be present. But all of a sudden, merong pagsisikip or
Was that also in written form? Did you also get a letter prohibiting the entry to Santa Rosa? Naku, Senator Coco, that's a very important part of the electoral process. Nakaka-nervous yung SD card configuration, walang testigo. So, Attorney Hubert, did you get a letter also like Alex did?
Madam Chair, walang advice sa amin.
Paano nyo natuklasan na hindi pwedeng mag-observe?
Kasi si Alex, Madam Chair, we're coordinating with Alex, Madam Chair, on the all of a sudden, sir, hindi na rin nagpapapunta.
Madam Chair, can I be heard?
Yes, Alex, please.
Every week I go to the gates to seeking entry. Every week.
And then, hindi ka pinapapasok?
Ayaw, I cannot force the Comelec guards to do that for me. So sabi
Okay.
na, walang coordination, walang authority. Same statement for the last 12 weeks.
Okay. And Attorney Hubert, you had the same experience that you were forbidden entry without any formal advice. Is that correct?
No, but I'm sure we have people who would go to the area, no? And the same people are prohibited from entering.
Yun nga. So, hindi sila pinapapasok ganun din.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. So, we now have complaints of COMELEC disallowing entry in the printing of ballots at the National Printing Office, in the configuration of the SD cards in the Santa Rosa Technical Facility. Senator Coco, what should we do?
Madam Chair.
Yes, who is that, please?
Siguro, ma'am, may I respond?
Yes, please.
Siguro ngayon, I think Comelec is also present. They have heard our sentiment, our position.
Oo.
Ganito na lang po, basta what used to be done transparently and before the eyes of witnesses should continue to be done transparently and under the eyes of witnesses, no matter the pandemic situation. We cannot use the pandemic as the reason to change rules, especially with regarding sensitive activities which should be witnessed by observers. So, narinig naman siguro ng COMELEC po yun. Maybe a formal letter from the committee rin. I so move that we also bring this up formally with Commissioner Casquejo.
Yes.
So that he can review his the rules that he has issued, Madam Chair. Yun lang po yung basta ganito. Lalo na ngayong panahon, wala na siguro live with COVID na, Madam Chair.
Kaya nga wala nang zero COVID.
Kahit alert level, ito for the record, sasabihin ko, kahit alert level 10, kung meron mang ganun and yet COMELEC continues to print something, to encode something which should be witnessed, therefore they allow witnesses, kahit anong alert level. Yan lang po yung aking position, Madam Chair.
Yes, I'm in full agreement. Attorney Ivan, I believe, or kanina, Director Florarita, parang you were raising your hand. Is that correct? Director Florarita muna, pagbigyan natin yung COMELEC.
Madam Chair, it's not true po na hindi papakita ang warehouse because we have scheduled, and during the CAC meeting din po, last Monday, it was announced.
Dalawa na yung pinagbabawalan yung tropa ni na Alex Ramos at si Attorney Guevara. Pare-pareho silang hindi
Yes.
pinapapasok
Because po, we are securing yung warehouse because ang configuration is there. Ang mga security guard po will not allow you to enter. Have an approval before entering the area. Pero we have a
Pero bago to Director Florida, bago itong nangyayari. Dati naman labas-pasok
Even before po, we have a security protocol that you cannot enter if your name is not in the list.
Attorney Hubert, would you like to comment? Alex, I think you've had requests as early as last year because we've had hearings on this. Parang nag-request na sila at magpa-accredit sila nung pa
Madam Chair, may I be heard? This is Myla Villanueva, PPCRV.
Yes, all right. COMELEC, are you done? Sorry,
Yes,
Let her finish, please.
I want to mention po that we have a schedule of walkthrough sa warehouse on March 14.
Pero walkthrough yun. That's not the legal requirement of witnesses present in all significant electoral processes.
But they can witness naman po the
They're not witnessing. It's just a walkthrough. Magde-demo lang kayo
No, it's another activity po on March 22 naman it's an end-to-end demonstration of the BCM and CC.
O sige, I have a third complainant here. I believe it's PPCRB. Miss Myla Villanueva, please. Kanina pa.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to support Ma'am Jeannie that there is a walkthrough. However, this is very different from the request of all the observers. We were allowed easy access in the past. Now, we do understand there's a pandemic, but we have been constantly writing. And while there is a pandemic, we also requested that live streaming be done. It's very easy to set up a camera to allow everyone in the nation to see the floor at a distance if it was a pandemic issue. But like you have said, it's already level 1 and we constantly request to be allowed inside the NPO in Santa Rosa. Aside from the walkthrough, if that can be granted, we will be very grateful. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, PPCRB. Tama yun kasi ang gusto natin, daily observation ng NPO, ng Santa Rosa SD configuration. Hindi naman pwede isang walkthrough, demo-demo lang isang araw. Kailangan nakatutok. Live streaming is a very good suggestion as well. And like you said, perfectly easy to set up. Yes, Comelec, please, Director Flororita, any response? Are you open to this? Kasi
Yes,
hindi pwedeng sekreto yan eh.
Yes, Madam Chair, I will raise.
Ang eleksyon eh.
Yes, Madam Chair, I will raise the issue with the steering committee head po, si Commissioner Casquero.
Thank you very much. And Attorney Ivan Uy.
Yes, Madam Chair. Well, what concerns me po is the information of Director Florita that they're practically almost done with the configuration and that only a few areas are left for configuration. So,
Oo, tapos na, wala naman nakaalam.
so what is there to observe? Oh, we don't know what they put in the configuration.
Tama, tapos na eh.
Tapos na. Maybe that's the reason po.
Florida, kung halos tapos na yung buong Pilipinas, sabi mo, tatatlong region na lang natitira. Ano pa i-observe namin ito?
Oh, how do we know what's inside those configuration? Nobody saw that. No, nobody saw that.
Yes, Director.
The configuration I'm mentioning po is the creation of the SD card with configuration, but the process of the pre-election logic and accuracy test is not yet done. Nandun pa lang po kami.
O yun na lang ang natitira. Pero yung SD configuration, medyo bloody yan.
It's only the creation of SD po, but after we prepare yung SD, it undergoes pa doon sa QA before we do the clustered precinct. One pa lang po muna yon. As I mentioned po, yung Region 4, one SD card pa lang po yun. But on the quality assurance, which is also performed doon sa memory configuration room, is nasa Region 6 pa lang po.
Hala, Director Florida, quality control na lang ang sinasabi mo.
No, but
Gawa na.
doon po nag-i-start ang process. QA first, then before namin i-produce yung SD card of all the precincts, and then it goes to keeping. Sa QA po nag-i-start yung process ng configuration.
Are you reassured? It doesn't look like anyone is very happy. Attorney Hubert, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No? Siguro, hindi ko alam kung observe ni Madam Director na for the past electoral exercise, every day po may tao po tayo dyan para mag-observe ng proceeding. Whether pre-lot siya, whether configuration siya, maski packaging pa lang and deployment, may tao po tayo dyan. Because we need to observe every step of the way po, no? Para lang, it's also to help Comelec, no? Kung if we're assured that our level of confidence is pretty high in the system, it will also benefit Comelec. But because na ito na naman tayo, para one step, 2 step forward na tayo, bigla na lang 3 steps backward tayo, no? Without allowing observers to be present, no? I agree with Ma'am Myla, no? Madali naman mag-setup eh. Pwede naman mag-live stream tayo, no? In fact, that also been requested also before, not only in writing but also verbally, no? But I don't understand why there's some hesitance on the part of Comelec to allow even just a live streaming, ano, no? But
Oo,
again, ma'am,
kasi pinapanood naman yan eh.
huli ko na ma'am sasabihin ito, ayoko na maging siraplaka, Madam Chair, no? Nandiyan na tayo. Okay. Matatapos na yung configuration. Okay. Ang nire-request ko lang, Madam Chair, at ito committed ni Commissioner Casquejo during the past JCOC hearings, no? Number one, yung pag-post ng election return sa public website. Importante na po yan. Bago pa ma-transmit, bago pa ma-press at ma-transmit at pumunta pa sa MBOC, mapunta pa sa transparency server, i-post na natin ang ER dun sa public website ng Comelec. Okay. Number two, allow naman physical presence na rin. Diba? Kung hindi na ina-allow sa Santa Rosa Warehouse, hindi na allow physical presence sa National Printing Office, ito naman sana i-allow naman nila physical presence sa data center kung nasaan yung transmission router server or yung meet me room. At pangatlo, allow naman physical presence sa provincial hubs at regional hubs. Importante po doon. So sabi may issue tayo sa switching of SD cards, at least meron tayong physical presence para at least to deter any issue or any problem that may arise later on SD card switching. Yan lang po, to build up confidence also of the voting public. Tatlo lang po yan, ma'am. Huli ko na po
Yes.
sabihin yan. Thank
At
you.
saka, sa totoo lang, hindi naman dapat hinihingi yan eh. Required na yan talaga na may physical presence, may testigo, it's in full view of the public. I think Alex earlier had some information regarding the NPO na halos lahat ng balota na imprenta na rin. Is that correct? We call on Mr. Alex Ramos.
It's an inside report lang, ma'am. So, we are still really in a quandary what's happening inside.
So ano nangyayari sa NPO? Can we ask the COMELEC please? Mukhang may himala at halos tapos na raw lahat ng balota pero walang nakakakita dahil walang pinapapasok. Tama ba yun?
Madam Chair.
Yes, please. Who's that? It's Director Helen.
Flores po, opo. Madam Chair, the percentage of printed ballots as of now is 66.4. It's not true that 64.44 million ballots as indicated in the chat.
Regardless, the majority of the ballots, Director Helen, with all due respect, have already been printed without any knowledge or witnesses from the political parties, the NGOs, and the general public. Bawal yun.
Madam Chair,
Yes, please.
may I please also cite that out of the 66.4% printed ballots, because there is another process which is called verification. Verification is still also ongoing, Madam Chair, at 47% right now. And ballots exited is at 42%, Madam Chair. So there is still a big percentage that has yet
Yes,
to
but
be
Director,
verified.
32% have exited. What does it mean? Na-deliver na yan?
They have already been turned over to the Packing and Shipping Committee, Your Honor.
All of this in deep, dark secrecy? Ganun ba yun?
Madam Chair, sorry about that, but there were plans to, in fact, when Chairman Abbas was the chairperson of the printing committee.
There's no need
there
to
were
say
plans
sorry to
like-
me. It's the law we're violating here.
Sorry po, there is actually a plan to live stream the process, Madam Chair. It is in the works, however,
Yeah, it is in the works. You know, you just set it up really quickly. But 64%, 66.4%, natapos ninyo, hindi ninyo pwedeng tutukan ng cellphone tsaka computer. Ang bira naman yata yan.
Madam Chair, please, I will relay everything to our chairperson, Madam Chair. All of the comments and what have been discussed in this hearing will be relayed to our chairperson, Madam Chair.
Senator Coco, pwede ba yung ganun? O paano ba yan?
mahirap kasi ang eleksyon mismo hindi man pwede i-live stream din eh. kailangan there are really the nature of the activity kasi is it should be it's highly political. Siyempre, people are interested, so dapat open talaga. So sayang yung mga in the works, mga ganun, at 60% na of the printing done, and then we're still probably bidding for the CCTV camera, yun ang problema. So kasi from the very start po sana aware na po yung COMELEC of the sensitivity of the activities, that people really need to be to have access, whether interested parties like candidates or those interested in our democratic processes. May mga taong ganun eh, non-partisan, but they are interested in our democratic processes and procedures. So sayang, I mean, how long has COMELEC been in existence, Madam Chair? May mga, ano na yata, half a century na rin. Alam na dapat nila po yan.
Ay, nako. Yes, Attorney Ivan. Mukha kang diskumpiyado ang balita.
Opo. Well, actually, just to add to that, I'd like to also recommend that if there are any incidents where the SD cards are found to be defective and brought to the configuration or to the hubs and it is returned, that COMELEC required that all those precincts that have those reports of those incidents go through mandatory manual count, just to assure the public that there was no SD card switching.
Ito na yung hybrid natin na hindi pumapasa.
Itong hybrid natin, so it will not be hybrid on all, only on those that have serious incidents where the SD cards were actually pulled out and replaced. So back in 2019, I think there were 1,000 precincts. So it's not all 100,000. So that will be very manageable. Before it is transmitted, if an SD card is changed, there should be a mandatory manual count before transmission, just to validate the contents of the SD card. See, at the rate it's going with all this disallowing observers, baka tapos na yung election, hindi pa nagma-May 9, no?
May add to what Ivan said. I think the audit, or well, the counting should be physical as well for any system that has to be rebooted. Because there has been discussions that when you reboot the system, it automatically nulls the votes that have entered already. So just to add to what Ivan said, not only the exchange of cards, but if the system has a problem and a technician has to come in and do anything with it, then I suggest that that also be moved to a manual count, please.
Okay, we take note of that, and we will relay to COMELEC, even as they have representatives here. Is there anyone who would like to add to this discussion? All kinds of problems have been raised.
Amo ning masulusad ya, no? Kay ti ongoing subong ang Senate hearing with regards sini sa pag stricto sang COMELEC nga makabisita ang mga tao o kung mga observers sa ila technical warehouse. Ang hambal sang taga COMELEC, no, ilabi na sa naga-imprinta sang mga baluta, mga 66% na natapos imprinta kag inog ship out na lang, no, sa iban nga mga region, pareho ni sa Region 6, sa Region 4A, no, i-ship out na lang. Iway makitaan to sa mga observers, sa mga kaalyado, sa mga politiko to. Why makita nila kung ano tong unod sa gina-reconfigure nila to. Tiyang suggestion na lang nga kung mag-trouble ang SD card, hindi na pag-ilisa na, no, kung i-replace man nila, makadto insigida sa manual counting. Kaya tuod man, mas ipag-replace mo sang SD card, lain na bang magwa to, no? Ang sumada sa ginapaboran to gulpi spike magtimbuok. Di kadto na lang sa manual counting. Amo ng proposal nila, no? Ipalabot ni si Senator Amy Marcos sa Commission on Election. 18 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Sa mga listeners naton basi pabulong kamo sa inyo sapat, no, sa nga nagamasakit o kung ipa-immunize nyo ara sa kay Doc Ronnie Galia sa Vitron Animal Clinic sa Barangay San Miguel Hordan, Guimaras. Pwede ka muna kabisita, dalaan nyo dang inyo kuring sa kay Dr. Ronnie Galia. Sa unhan na sa Dominic Funeral Parlor o kung sa unhan lang sa transmitter sang People sa Television o kung PTV. Masyarin nyo lang da, samtang nga naginabulong ang inyo pwede man makapamahaw sa RNL store ni Nang Ninfa Galia. Subong man, Load Lift Trading and Services, isa ka dako nga construction firm nga nagapang-obra sa madalag ko nga mga building, kapareho sa mga mansions kag mga balay. Nagadesign man sa mga balay, depende sa inyo nga budget. Ang ila opisina yara sa Block 5 SM Francisco Homes, Gio, San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan. Pwede ninyo matawagan si Engineer Joey Diaz sa iyang mobile number 0939-812-6336. 0939-812-6336 o kung sa iyang email ad maria_rosim@yahoo.com. Sa pamilya Soliva sa Negros Occidental, mayong gabi. Salamat sa pagtanaw, salamat sa pagpamati. Basi nga bakal kamo sa mga priskang isda yara sa Cruising Patio Dueñas, Iloilo sa kay Niji Matupas. Pwede kamo kabakal dira, pwede man kamo makapaluto kung may mga okasyon kamo kay Nijima. No, kadtuin nyo lang da mga sawa si Nijima kag si Digol. No, dira sa Cruising Patio Dueñas, Iloilo ang mga operatiba, ang mga pulis dira man gapaluto siya kay mayad siya magluto mo. Sana no lang gusto nyo nga mga paborito nyo, ara dira sa kay Nijima Tupas, lutuan niya kamo. 21 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. More power Iloilo, bringing more to life.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even source 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
Health Complex. A health complex will rise complete with hospital, quarantine, isolation and dormitory facilities, and molecular laboratory, all in one location at Barangay San Pedro Molo. The 104-bed Level 2 hospital will have an intensive care unit and specialist doctors per DOH standards. Molecular Laboratory. There's an urgent need for faster releasing of RT-PCR results to effectively and efficiently manage confirmed cases. With that, we converted the ALS building into a temporary COVID-19 molecular laboratory, hiring 34 medical technologists. Later on, the machines can be calibrated to test dengue and HIV. Contact tracing. We already trained 120 persons as contact tracers. The City Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit of the City Health Office is conducting aggressive contact tracing to locate all close contacts and manage confirmed cases efficiently and effectively. Patient transport. 6 ambulance units and 1 minibus are being used by the Iloilo City Emergency Response of the City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office in transporting positive patients to healthcare or quarantine facilities. Modular Hospital. Iloilo City government and partners have started preparing additional beds for COVID-19 patients. This temporary hospital seeks to address the high health care utilization rate, considering the city-based facilities also catered to patients from 5 neighboring provinces in Panay Island. A 66-bed modular hospital, which is a 3-unit 22-bed per unit, will be built nearby Suoc quarantine facility. An additional 32 isolation beds will also be built in front of the existing one, also in Suoc. The isolation and quarantine facilities shall form part of the proposed hospital in collaboration with the Department of Health. Quarantine facilities. St. Therese Hospital, which has been non-operational for quite some time, has been lent for free and has been serving as a quarantine facility. This move is in preparation for possible increase in infections, which may be caused by the more contagious Delta variant. Iloilo City has put in place a total of 1,500 isolation beds, including close to 1,000 in government-run facilities and at least 500 private beds in various partner hotels in case of COVID-19 surge. These will cater to mild and moderate cases to give the already overwhelmed hospitals a breathing room. City-run facilities have provided lunch and dinner meals, medicines, vitamins, hygiene kits, and medical checkups. City Vax teams. The city's vaccination teams include City Health Office doctors, nurses, vaccinators, health workers, site managers, Liga ng mga barangay, IT, PSTMO and PNP personnel, volunteers, and logistics team from the General Services Office. They target at least 10,000 vaccinations a day in the 5 identified mega sites: SM City, Robinson's Haro, Mega Road Transport Hub, Central Philippine University, and Ateneo de Iloilo. They also conduct community-based vaccination in barangays identified as having low vaccination turnout. We have 28 medical officers or doctors, vaccinators composed of 51 nurses and 13 midwives, 16 nursing aides, 13 dentists, 303 assistants composed of BSPOs, health workers, health center staffs, and etc. Disinfection. City Health Office Sanitation Division disinfects city government offices that are locked down following confirmed cases, as well as national government agencies and establishments that request assistance. Volunteer fire brigades and Bureau of Fire Protection also help in disinfection. The threat of this pandemic has pushed the Iloilo City government to double its efforts in fighting the unseen enemy, without overlooking the usual health issues, problems, and concerns that need to be addressed. Let us continue to bring Iloilo City to the next level.
5, 6, 7, go!
Hello mga suki! Bukas na ang Sarjan Many Grocery kung sa diin makapamakal kamo kag makapangompra sang kinahanglanon sa sulod sang inyo balay. May baligya man sila para sa mga okasyon. Hindi na kamo kinahanglan magkadto sa banwa kag syudad. Gani ano pang ginaulat nyo? Bakal na!
Sa Barangay Kagamutan Norte, Liganes. Yarada sa sadya na mga kinanglanon nyo sa sulod sa balay, mga ilimnon nyo o soft drinks para sa inyong mga okasyon, may aramada nga ice cream. May aramada kita nga mga ulotanon o lulutoon para sa inyong mga tululahon ara da sa Sarjan Mini Grocery. Sa tupad sa Sarjan may batsuyan man da si Richard, pwede man kamo makapamatsoy, pwede man kamo makabakal da inasal. May ara man da tiyanggi si Bingbing, no? Si Bibing, may ara man da tiyanggi si Eden kag si Manuel Igamino. Pwede man kamo makapamakalda sa Talipapa dira sa Kagamutan Norte, Leganes. Sa pamilya ni Rios may bunlisan Madam Bangros. No, hindi na kamo magkadto pas Banwa, hindi na magkadto kamo sa syudad, dira na lang kamo pamakal sa Sarjan Mini Grocery. Sa mga taga Rizal Palapala Uno, basi bla mamalaklon nga mo ara da Cindy Sandy Store. Pwede ka mo kadto da pamakal sang inyong makinanglanon sa sulod sa balay kay wholesaler man na kag retailer. Panoy Barbershop, araman sa Katilig Baukon Barangay Poblasyon na Mulo Siyudad sang Iloilo. Kadtuin nyo lang ang Panoy Barbershop nga ginapanagyan ni Panoy Maluto, maayo gid manggunting sa Panoy, no? Kadtuin nyo lang da sa Poblasyon na Mulo. At ang graphics innovative mind nga ginapanagyan ni Sir Manny Jan Sanoy, maayo man ni magubra sa mga tarpaulins, maayo man nga magubra sa mga souvenirs kag mga IDs, no? Maayo gid sa mag-layout, bisitahin nyo ang pwesto ng graphics innovative mind sa unan ng sa Bureau of Fire Protection, sa unan ng dasang Mulo Plaza. Ang graphics ay pangitaan nyo lang si Sir Manny Jan Sanoy. 29 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Ipabati ta sa inyo ang hapahayag naman sa COMELEC chairman. May kang tanan ini sa sa deliberate sa Senado, no? Nga grabe ang ila stricto nga bisita to sa technical warehouse, hindi sila pasulod sa mga observer to. No, sige pang imprinta dapat nga mayara activities da nga ginahimo mayara tani nga naga-observe mangin transparent tani ang Commission on Election. Ang ambal ni sang chairman nga ginasigurado lang nila, no, ginadipinsahan nila, ginabantayan nila sa isang Mayo ang sagrado nga buto sang mga pumuluyo. That's why nga wala sang observer to nga nagkadto. Amo ng hambal sang bag-o nga chairman sang COMELEC nga si Attorney Saidamin Pangarungan. Ari ang sabat ni Attorney Saidamin Pangarungan, ang chairman sang COMELEC.
I stand before you today as a defender of democracy, who will be independent and conscientious in giving life to the fundamental freedom of suffrage. To accentuate my stand for impartiality or independence, I solemnly took my oath of office before the highest magistrate of the land, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
I would like to thank all for the warm welcome. Indeed, these are the times wherein the COMELEC is being put in the spotlight. I want to make it clear that amidst all the issues thrown towards the Commission, we will advocate and ensure that we will have an honest, fair, and free conduct of election.
Gusto nila bantayan sa Mayo ang sagrado nga buto sa mga pumuluyo. No? Ginaprotehiran nila. Pero ang pamangkot, pila na ka-eleksyon nag-agi, dapat may observer gina. Once nga may ara nga activities, may ara nga ginahimo ang COMELEC, berman kung nano daya nga nagakalahinabo, bagyo man o kung nano nga alert level na, dapat may ara gid man tuod nga observer. Insakto to si Senator Coco Pimentel. Kag ang chairman sa nga sining nag-hear sa nga hearing, no, sa public hearing nga si Senator Amy Marcon sa tutungambal nila kag sang iban pa nga mga abogado nga dapat nga mayara nga observer para nga mangin transparent. Hindi bila pagdudahan ang Comelec, no? Hindi pagdudahan ang Comelec nga mayara nga ginasaydan nga isa ka politiko. Ay kung arang ang observer, at siyempre maluwas ka mo sa mga kritisismo nga paghimuon sang mga magtimbang nga bahin sang mga nagapapili sa sining nga eleksyon. 33 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Sa Pilipinas, no, sa Pilipinas, ang infection sa COVID-19 na matamat na nga nagadumbo. Tihambal to sa Okta Research, mga tapos bulan, sining Marso bla, mga 300 na lang kuno per day posible ang ma-infect sa COVID-19. Kaya ginatanaw man nila mo nabasihan man ang turnout kada adlaw. Ginatanaw man nila kung pila ang infect sa COVID, no? Nga mga pumuluyo kada adlaw. Yung pagtanaw nila, mga 300 na lang per day ang ma-infect. So, tama na kanubo. Kag kinahanglan na nga ipaidalom sa alert level 1 ang Pilipinas. Kinahanglan nga gidman. Kaya grabe na ang pangkampanya sa mga politiko. Eleksyon malanggali makapanubo sa COVID-19, no? Eleksyon malanggali ang makapanubo sa infection. Kahit ang mga politiko, why na sa may makasagang, why na sa may makareklamo da, kay sila man na ang mandatos, sila man na naghambal, nga dapat amon ni tumanon ang IETF ay nagapakuribong. Ang IETF, why na sang kibo, no? Sa wala lang sila. Bisan paano da ka maraling nga naga-iniping-iping, daw so wala lang sila sa mga nagdiligad to ginapang tikitan subong why tikit-tikit Why nasa may ginapang dakop nang ginalupot sa karsel pero kung pigado ka laban lupot kagid. 35 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9 pabatita sa inyo ang report, no, sa Reuters, no, via Reuters may kangtanan sini sa mass testing nga paghimuon sang taga Hong Kong kay nagdesisyon sila nga mahimo nang malunsar lang sa mass testing kay daw hindi magwanta ang infection dito sa Hong Kong. Madamo mga nagkalamatay kalabanan nga mga senior citizens amo nagkalamatay nga wala mabakunahan. Yari ang report, mga impormasyon nga nakuha sa Hong Kong.
With record highs of COVID-19 cases in Hong Kong, the city's leader, Carrie Lam, announced steps to focus on elderly patients. But she did not set a date for the mass testing scheme her government has previously discussed. Hong Kong's seen a surge of more than 500,000 infections and over 2,000 deaths, most in the last 2 weeks. The city has suffered the most deaths globally per million people. That's according to Our World in Data publication. Those deaths have climbed among unvaccinated seniors as a surge of infections sweeps through nursing homes. On Wednesday, Lam said the government would ramp up medical treatment and set up more facilities for older patients. She gave no timing yet for the compulsory mass testing scheme, which has triggered panic buying of groceries and other essentials in the city.
First of all, with regards to compulsory universal testing, it remains a project that we are making plans for. But naturally, as to when we will start this, it all depends on the development of the pandemic. We also have to consider the best timing for universal testing for it to be the most effective. But then we need to make other preparations first. Otherwise, there is still no chance for us to launch it.
Her comments come after a top government official said Hong Kong had to prioritize reducing infections, severe illnesses, and deaths. Residents in the Chinese-controlled territory have been confused and frustrated over contrasting messages from the government over the past 2 weeks and whether a city-wide lockdown would be imposed. China and Hong Kong have adopted a dynamic zero strategy. That involves eliminating infections with strict mitigation measures, as opposed to living with COVID. Medical experts from the University of Hong Kong have estimated that by the end of April, the number of people infected in the city of 7.4 million people could be about 4.3 million, with a death toll of 5,000 people.
Emakon nyo to, amo to ang mga nagkalamatay. Pertik damo-damo mga nagkalamatay sa Hong Kong, oh. No? Okay, why sila nag-mass testing dason mo? Why sila nagpangturok tong nagpangbakuna? Why nila ginpatuman ng hugot nga pag implementar ni sang health protocols? Primero, tama sila nagatag sila kumpiyansa. Di sa paghatag nila sang kumpiyansa, amo ini ang natabo didto sa Hong Kong. Kabay pa nga hindi iniya matabo sa aton. Kabay pa nga magsunod kita sa gyapon nga magsuksok sang face mask. Sa mga listeners naton ka mga viewers, kabay pa nga sundon gid naton kung ano ang ginahambal sang gobyerno. More power Iloilo, bringing more to life.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even sourced 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
Our roadmap, Wheels for Inclusive Development and Good Governance, has been the backbone of our mission in bringing our city to the next level. W, our first agendum among 6, stands for welfare. Efficient traffic management is one of the important aspects of this platform. Iloilo City prides itself being a walkable and bikeable metropolis, hailed as the most bike-friendly in the country. Its wide diversion road, complete with pedestrian alleys and protected bike lanes, attract attention, acclaims, and accolades from all over the place. Ilonggos and visitors can stroll along spacious sidewalks without eyesores and lighter sights of the busy streets because of less traffic, while bikers are safe in sharing the roads. Here are some specific actions made to achieve efficient traffic management. An intelligent transport system is in the works for a centralized coordination of related choke points and gray areas in the field. This is one of the major features of the iCare Command Center at Gaisano Business Hub. Iloilo City is creating its Traffic Academy for knowledge and training of traffic personnel and drivers through annual refresher courses. The initiative will be established at Technical Institute of Iloilo City, Barrio Obrero Campus. We will be the first LGU having this kind of program. City Hall has provided 20 motorcycles for traffic personnel to perform their duties and conduct check of road conditions, especially on areas that experience congestion. 20 bike patrols are doing regular rounds along Esplanade to ensure enforcement of public safety. 2 patrol vehicles are being used to respond to assess and address urgent situations. The Public Safety and Transportation Management Office, Task Force ASIS, and Office of Barangay Affairs implemented the road clearing operations upon the orders of the national government. Iloilo City's efforts got 83% rating from the Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG. For the displaced sidewalk vendors, due to the clearing operation, they were provided a new space. Financial assistance was also given to them so they can start anew. As Iloilo City levels up, it also gets to face more concerns, especially with regard to traffic. The city government has sought the help of the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA in crafting a traffic plan in August 2019. City Hall personnel attended a traffic management seminar with the guidance of scientific and engineering experts. Slowly but surely, officials are optimistic this will give resolution to traffic problems. Iloilo City is geared towards developing more open spaces and access for pedestrian as well as alternative thoroughfares for riding public. We ensure that our city is highly livable and has competent value for safety, peace, and order. Level up Iloilo City.
Five, 6, 7, go!
Hello mga suki! Bukas na ang Sarjan Many Grocery kung sa diin makapamakal kamo kag makapangompra sang kinahanglanon sa sulod sang inyo balay. May baligya man sila para sa mga okasyon. Hindi na kamo kinahanglan magkadto sa banwa kag syudad. Gani ano pang ginaulat nyo? Bakal na!
Forty-five minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Ang public transport route plan ni Blas ang syudad ni. Amo ni subong ang ginakahangawaan, amo ning ginakabalakan sa mga pumuluyo, ilabin na sa mga riding public. Kaya nga, kung mapatuman ini, aliganes hasta na lang sa Tagbak Terminal, ang mga uton nga salakyan hasta na sa Mohon Terminal, mayo pang iya ka-alyusan, no, hasta pa sila sa Mega World. Pero ang Santa Barbara Pabia hasta na lang man sa ITG sa Ideras Tubang sang Christ the King. Kaya ang mga pumuluyo, kung mag-travel sila pa syudad, laban-laban nga mga triple ride gid sila o kung mag-double ride at dako-dako nga galastuho naman ni. Mag-preparar naman ni sila sang ilang mga budget. Kay alang-alang na karon nga thank you hon lang sila, no? So dugang naman nga huol, dugang naman nga balakhoon sang mga commuters, ang mga drivers yati mapasakay malang na kundi ka mo magpanaog, ti dulog yung malang muna to. Ang importante nga nagabayad ka mo. Subong niya ang nagabalakhoon naman mga drivers, hindi lang drivers subong, hasta mga pumuluyo sa pagsaka sang petroleum products. Ibalantayan ni next week kung pila naman ni ang ipasaka, kay ang impormasyon 8 ka pesos ang ipasaka sa per liter sa diesel. Kabay patani nga hindi na sagad sinakain ni kay kaluluoy lang yung mga ultimo, kaluluoy lang yung mga pumuluyo, kaluluoy lang ya ang wala sang trabaho. Antes kita magtakop sa atong mga listeners kag mga viewers, base sa buwas why kita, no? Sabado, why kita, no? Kay bang may kadtuan kitang importante anay, no? Pasensya sa atong mga listeners. Sa Domingo, may ara kita nga misa, no? Alas 7. I-cover nato na hook up kita sa Haro Metropolitan Cathedral. Alas 7 sa aga, na pwede ka mo da makasimba sa hindi makakadto sa simbahan, pwede ka mo makatanaw lang sa Iloilo Newsline o kung dira man sa Guimaras Newsline o kung pwede man sa YouTube channel sang Iloilo Newsline, no? Para nga simba man ka mo pagi na lang sa online, no? Sa online, virtual na lang. Pwede ka mo makatanaw dira para lang kita nga pangamuyo man, makapangayo sang grasya, makapangayo sa nga bulig sa aton nga mahal nga makaako o kung makapasalamat man kita siya. Wala na kita sa tiniyon sa atong nga pagpangalagat. Friday kita nga edisyon. Salamat sa atong nga mga listeners. Salamat sa atong nga mga viewers, sa atong nga mga followers. Kay Sir Joseph Oico, Sambalyacar Transit, mayong gabi. Kay Ma'am Sarada sa Negros. Kapod na kay Toto Boy Jeff. Kag Nonoy MJ. Aton technical partner siniyang inyo alaga Johnny Yanson Diaz. Madamo nga salamat. Kag mayong gabi Pilipinas para sa Iloilo Newsline.